Space tourism has become big business. We know about Elon Musk and SpaceX, Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic, but there are several other companies trying to get ahead in rocket and satellite development. Bloomberg reporter Ashley Vance has a new book detailing it all. When the Heavens Went on Sale, the misfits and geniuses racing to put space within reach.
And Ashley joins us now live. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I think everyone thinks about these big launches we're seeing by SpaceX and these other companies, but really there's so much more to this business. It's this people with the satellites and sending satellites up and a whole business of that. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think people see space tourism, they hear Elon talking about going to Mars, and all of this is interesting, but the real activity that I don't think most people have been noticing is that we are putting up thousands upon thousands of satellites into low Earth orbit, which is the spot right above us. And there's dozens of rocket companies, hundreds of satellite companies all around the world chasing this new economy.
It sounds like it could be a plot for a Bond movie or something. What's the downside of putting thousands more satellites in our orbit?
Yeah, I mean, and we're going from it's a dramatic increase, and we're not 100% sure how to manage this. I mean, there are some downsides as to if these crash into each other, it could create this huge mess, but we do have companies that are trying to manage this, and overall, I think it's an optimistic, kind of hopeful time as to all the interesting things we can do with these satellites.
I think a lot of people wonder too why this private space tourism has taken off, whereas NASA used to be the only game in town. Does NASA just not have the funding?
They do have the funding. Space just didn't change much for about 60 years. It got so bureaucratic, driven by the government, and it's only in these last few years that commercial space has really taken off. But very quickly, we're seeing this flip in the balance of power, and a company like SpaceX is so far ahead of what the government can do today.
Yeah, but, corporations value profit, and I wonder if there are safety issues and how well regulated this is, especially when you consider that some of these satellites may be relevant to conflict around the globe.
This is exactly what I argue in the book. We're at this Wild West stage of space, and there are regulations, but the regulators were used to a regime where rockets went off once a month and there were only a handful of satellites. We're talking now about rockets going off every day, carrying thousands of satellites, and the regulators really have struggled to keep up. And this is kind of a situation where whoever gets there first wins.
You talk about a couple of different companies other than SpaceX, which is the one everyone knows. Talk about like Astra. You say that's like a cautionary tale.
Well, Astra's the most extreme end of this. So a typical rocket costs $300 million to build, and it flies once a month. Astra's trying to make basically a couple $1 million rocket that is mass produced, make a rocket a day, fly a rocket a day, more or less trying to become the FedEx of space, taking these satellites to orbit all the time. And it's just a feel for how extreme some of this has become.
Who is governing space, though? Is it every country for itself? Is there anybody in charge?
There are international bodies that try to coordinate at least how the satellites go up and what they're going to do and where they're going to be. But already, as I point out in my book, for the first time ever, we've seen a illegal satellite launch where a startup from the U.S. snuck their satellite on an Indian rocket. So it's interesting times.
Wow. So should people be worried about, I mean, they're worried already about spying and, you have your phones with you, but I mean, should you be worried about satellites going up over your house all the time?
Falling on my head or spying on me.
Yeah.
A little bit, but there are very smart people doing this, and what these satellites are doing is quite amazing. I mean, we're going to be able to understand and analyze our planet in ways we never imagined before. We're going to have much better communications. I think at least in this near term, it's very hopeful. We just want to not repeat all the mistakes we've made on Earth up in orbit again.
Well, the book is called When the Heavens Went on Sale, and you can check out Ashley Vance online. Ashley, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.